action! Hello everypony, I'm MasterCode, your ace analyst, and today we'll be reading issue number 97 or season 10, episode 9. We continue our adventures in the Abyssinian city of Pantera, where we catch up with our crew after their recent jailbreak to discover all the citizens hiding in the underground from the ruthless king's social cleansing of street cats. One of the first issues I have with this comic comes right off the bat. After the distinguished Admiral Fluffington unlocks Trixie's magic nullifier color, she then proceeds to zap Discord's collar to free him, but ends up melting it with now no way to unlock it. Now, I'll come back to why this was pointless from a story standpoint later, but it seems like a stark contrast to how she was in the last issue. Now, don't get me wrong, Trixie being brash isn't the issue. We've seen the bear many times in the past be so bold and get herself into trouble. Now, the problem is, in the previous issue, we saw Trixie and Capper bond over each other's rocky pasts, being the outcasts that they once were. It was a short but nice scene of character development between two characters we rarely see together. With Discord being another one with a rocky past, you figured we'd get a similar bonding experience with him and Trixie, right? Nope. She zaps his color, Discord gets pissed, and I guess they kind of resolve their differences by the end? And they don't ever really talk again, and that's kind of it. It's just a weird missed opportunity. On the plus side, an element I've been really digging the past couple issues is Fluttershy's characterization. I've already talked about how Discord is slowly becoming more domesticated, taking his character in such a different yet still interesting direction, with him relying less on his magic and learning to like and do new things on his own. Fluttershy, on the other hoof, has become much more outgoing and assertive, like her debating jailbreak momentarily, only to immediately say fuck the police and run. In this issue, she's taking up the leadership banner, breaking up the argument between Trixie and Discord, not letting the situation get out of hoof. By the end, she's even brainstorming a heist to accomplish their goals. It's amazing. She's still the meek and kind personality that she's known for, but I'm really liking where the writers are taking her character and making her more outgoing, but still true to her character.
Hey, how you doing, dude? Hey, I heard you died. Or you got promoted.
Capper is still surprised that Chumer is alive, especially since Chumer is saying to Chumer that he thought Chumer was dead. Oops. Looks like the comic's editor fell asleep on this page. Anyway, Chumer and Capper finally talk and reconcile their last encounter. Chumer claims how he had lost everything, been betrayed multiple times, and lost his faith in friendship. His main reasoning for abandoning Capper. Well, okay, admittedly they were orphans living on the street and they didn't experience the joy of living under a normal roof with caring parents, and eventually the Storm King came in and took over their home, which, okay, that's hard-hitting to anyone, but in terms of betrayals? I really don't understand what he's getting at. Looking back at the MLP movie prequel comics, Verko the mob boss was annoyed with the two cats that were muscling in on their territory in the thieving business, but Chumer ultimately betrayed him and Capper. In fact, earlier when the two were caught stowing away on Captain Silano's ship, instead of throwing them overboard, the pair crew offered them a home on the airship and later even sacrificed their freedom by stopping one of the Storm King's minions from destroying Chumer and Capper's Zeppelin. Again, I'm not seeing where you were betrayed.
Everybody betrayed me. I fed up with this world.
Capper did admit he wanted to leave his thieving lifestyle behind with how unfulfilling and stressful it was, but still wanted to stay friends with Chumer. Plus, Chumer was the one who threw his friend off the Zeppelin hundreds of feet off the ground. I'm surprised Capper didn't take a swing at the cat when they met again.
You tried to kill me!
Hey, it was just a joke.
Had the guy just abandoned Capper at the airship dock, that would have been one thing. A jerk, but in a weird way, still understandable. So then, how did Chumer become remorseful and understand friendship? Well, after his airship crashed, he was cared for by the most unlikely of creatures, two kind dogs who nursed him back to health. From that experience, he claims that you can choose to be good, choose to be a friend. Well, I guess back then you chose the Scar approach.
Long live the king.
Again, I wouldn't be as harsh on the subject if he just left Capper at the dock, but I'm less sympathetic to the guy who almost murdered his friend. Anyway, the cats inform the others about a mysterious door that apparently holds all of Abyssinia's magic. So after planning for Ocean Shy's 11, they all manage to thwart the guards in a creative and hilarious way, only for them to be surrounded by reinforcements moments later. Now this next part just slays me. Apparently, the king let Capper get rescued in the off chance he would come down to the sewers and unlock the door for him, because in all these years, none of his guards or followers were capable of unlocking said door.
And you're an idiot.
I'll say that again. The king put him in jail so that he could be rescued, gets rescued, doesn't pursue Capper, and ostensibly lets him go, and his entire plan of getting that door unlocked hinged on the off chance that Capper would ultimately not only come across the door rather than just run from the city, but also be curious enough to open it up and reveal its secrets. That's a lot to buy, comic. When the king could have, I don't know, just marched Capper down to the sewers after their first meeting and, I don't know, force him to open it.
You stupid.
Everyone enters the chamber and inside lies another tree of harmony, to which the pompous king immediately scratches up and Fluttershy uses headbutt. It was somewhat effective. But still, I'm loving the more aggressive Yellow Pegasus, which then leads to everything breaking down into a big old brawl. Wait, so literally a club shot to the neck breaks Discord's collar? So if any of the cats earlier just put in a little elbow grease, the Draconiquist would have been freed? Well, that melting collar plot point was pointless. Anyway, much like we saw in the Pharasian Coast Tree of Harmony, Capper and all his friends take up their respective spots around the Tree of Harmony, inhabiting the traits that were not really well expressed. This is another problem I had with the conclusion of this arc. Again, if you look back at the Pharasian Coast arc, Zecora's friends during their journey would clearly exhibit each of the elements of harmony, and later when they locate the Tree of Harmony, we as a reader know what elements each character inhabits, because we spent a long time getting to know each of the characters' personalities and the predominant trait that made them chosen by the tree. With this arc, we as the reader know going into this that Capper and his 5 other friends from long ago are going to be the bearers of harmony here, because we know what the pattern is going to be with this season. There's nothing really exemplary that Capper's friends do that earn their element of harmony, or if it is, it's extremely brief, like Chumer, loyalty. Okay, this kind of works as he risked an operation to save his old friend from prison and defended all his friends during the brawl. Alright. Capper, generosity. That one works too. From the events of the movie, its prequels, and willing to assist with this friendship mission, he works well in this role. Molly, laughter. I don't recall a single moment of her providing any kind of levity or encouragement to any of her companions. I do recall her attempting to blow up Discord with dynamite. Admiral Fluffington, kindness. I guess he did help Trixie remove her collar. Max, honesty. He never told a lie? Shadow, magic. Okay, friendship is magic, whatever. We needed someone in that role. But here's the fundamental problem. The Abyssinian arc lasted only 2 issues, and we really didn't get any time to soak in the culture, as mostly we just spent time in jail or the sewers. We meet these new, interesting looking cats, but they're pretty much just one note. They barely have any dialogue, and it's mostly just exposition. We never really talk and interact with them. I really would have liked to learn more about these guys, but the story was just so rushed that instead of the reader arriving to the conclusion of which characters inhabits what elements of harmony through natural storytelling, we're just essentially told what each cat represents. Well, let's wrap this up. The Tree of Harmony activates, releasing magic back to the Abyssinian. Shadow becomes a jackal cat for some reason, and the Praetorian Guard now inexplicably turns against the king for some reason, and everything's all sunshine and rainbows. And of course, we have our cliffhanger going back to that mysterious room with another light becoming active, indicating the Abyssinian Tree of Harmony activating. So in the end, this is really the first disappointing comic for season 10. It's not bad, but with how rushed things were, there's no time to absorb anything being said or learn about these new eccentric characters. They had great designs, but were pretty much one note. The arc had a decent setup, but it just kind of ends and peters out, especially with that really rushed ending. What action there is was decent, the artwork was well done, and there were some nice interactions here and there. But ultimately, this was just okay. Hopefully, the next arc gives us something energetic and new to spice the formula up a bit. Something with new, interesting, 3-dimensional characters and new locations to explore. Well, that's it for today, guys. Until next time, MC out!